Welcome back for the fifth and final round of this Pauper League. We look at a hand here that's fairly interesting. It's not particularly exciting or explosive, but I think it is a keeper. We have a number of ways to generate green mana to get this Carapace Forger out. We're going to need a third land to be able to play the Mirror Enforcer at some point, but we do have red for Atog and Galvanic Blast, so I'm going to keep. It is not a super exciting hand, but probably better than the average 6. And let's see what our opponent is up to. Okay, so we're playing against Monarch, Boros Monarch. It is a fine matchup for us. I've been quite favored against it, and I've traditionally I've got a fairly high win percentage against it, so I'm not incredibly concerned about how this matchup will go. I think we've got a pretty good chance to win, but we'll kind of see as we go. We're going to play the Frogmite here. We are susceptible to it getting killed and not enabling us to be able to play our turn 3 Mirror Enforcer, but we will see what they do. They do decide to kill it, which is fine, honestly. We still get to play Atog, and it does take one of the removal spells away from their hand. We have a backup Atog, which is good. We'll see what they do here. Journey to Nowhere, that's a fine removal spell. Not super concerned since we do have the backup Atog. And a Glint Hawk. Forced to return the Clue, which they probably are not going to be super pleased about. It's fine. We will kill this Glint Hawk. We're not interested in that card. That's a pretty good one. I get to play that for free. I'm going to play the second Atog out right now and leave ourselves open to be able to play Mirror Enforcer and Carapace Forger next turn. The reason for this is that it's unlikely they have removal for us. They do become the Monarch, which is like pretty good, but like I don't know, not buck wild, honestly. So let's start here. It's a great draw, so now we get to play this Mirror Enforcer. To attack with the Atog. Sack the Wellspring. And now we have 3 threats. Again, it's very possible they're able to prevent us from taking the Monarchy back from them, or taking the Monarchy from them, but 3 threats to their 1 is pretty good. Yeah, Journey to Nowhere, that happens. Sure. He's going to require another creature, another removal spell to keep the Monarchy. We're going to get a couple looks at more threats next turn. Let's see where we go from here. Sure. Yeah, I think we're like not unhappy here if he wants to double block something. Sure, we get the Monarchy. Get to play the Atog. We'll keep the Star in hand for now. Protects us from Bolt. We will fight for keeping the Monarchy here. It would take a third journey to nowhere, which, yeah, Lightning Bolt resolves. If he's going to double bolt here, that's pretty good for us, to be honest. Sure, that's also fine. Two, three, four, five, six, seven. So we can't kill him. So he's not like required to block here. But he's likely to block. So we'll go for an attack. Okay, so now we get to kill him, which is kind of sweet. Great. So yeah, chose not to block. We did not have the win in hand at that point, but it's a pretty dangerous situation to not block there. So we'll begin our sideboard. So sideboarding against this deck, we don't bring in a ton of stuff. I do bring in Ancient Grudge. He does have prisms and artifact lands that sometimes we want to destroy. I bring in the Ray of Revelation for his Journeys to Nowhere, and then I bring in the 2 Hydroblasts as ways to beat his removal, his Gorilla Shaman, and kind of keep ourselves in the game. I don't bring in Power Blast to try to fight his stuff, but you know. So what do we take out here? We're looking to keep our deck a little bit slower, so I usually take out 1 Flare Husk, 1 Drum, 1 Wellspring, and then I'll take out 1 Perilous Research, and we'll kind of just shave some pieces. I keep the 4th star, and even though it doesn't give us the potential for card advantage, because we do want that colored source of mana. And let's go on to game 2. Electricity is a card that sometimes could be brought in, but I don't usually bring it in because it is really only good against 1 card out of their deck, which is Battle Screech, and they don't always have Battle Screech. Now this is a very interesting hand. If we draw a second land, and it kind of sky's the limit. If we don't, we could just kind of do nothing. I think this is worth keeping because drawing a second land makes this hand kind of powerful enough to keep. We do get 3 looks at it, including the Chromatic Star. So let's see where we go from here. So we did not get there, unfortunately, but we do get to play a star. Lone Missionary is an interesting inclusion. So now we do get to play Carapace Forger and a Thoughtcast. Great. So now our hand's kind of humming. I mean, not humming, but it's doing something, which is pretty important. And we can move on to there. I don't think I would bring in Lone Missionary in this matchup. I don't know. Maybe Life Gain's a lot better than I give it credit for in this type of situation, but I feel like I'm not very impressed by it. I should get to play 4 creatures here. So we get to play a Husk, an Enforcer, and a Serpent. So that's an incredibly powerful turn 3. Again, this was a hand that we did take a chance on. We did miss our second land drop, but I think it was worth trying to get there. It looks like we've won the game. It looks like he's not interested in continuing. So yeah, so again, that was a reasonably risky hand, and I could see arguments for not wanting to keep that hand, wanting to throw it back. What I like about that hand is that we are just one land away from being able to unlock kind of our entire hand, including a draw 2 that helps us find more lands. I think the point of finding a land where we have 3 looks or 4 looks potentially, as it was okay for us to miss land number 2, we are willing to kind of take that possibility where when we get there, like we did in this hand, we just get to flood the board and they're not able to do anything about it. So thank you very much for watching my set of Pauper videos here, playing with Affinity against a league. We were able to 5-0 that league. It moves us up to 10 trophies for this current season. Puts us tied for 4th place behind Almost Me, Tim Canpy, Dr. Muggy, and then tied with GL Nemesis, Mezel, QQing. Some pretty good players that are at the top of the list, and we're pretty happy with how that went. I'll give you one more quick peek at our list before we log off for the night. If we're looking at Pauper, this is what we brought to battle with today. And we're fortunate enough to turn this list into a 5-0 and win some treasure chests, win some beautiful treasure. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you have any questions about lines of play that I took. I would be happy to discuss anything in as much detail as you're interested in. If you have questions about card choices, why I've chosen to configure this deck the way that I have, please let me know and we can get into a great discussion. Thank you so much for watching, and this is Liquid Quick, Blake Olson, signing off for now.